Hello everyone and welcome back to the Take the Edge podcast, a podcast about anything and everything Naruto Mythos. Today we have the full crew with Vax, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. Hi, everyone, and God bless all of our listeners around the world.
And Gabriel, long time no see.
Hi everyone, hi ninjas.
And of course myself, John Games. I've been saying this every episode, but we have so much to get to today. Our main topic will be on budget decks, as that's been a hot topic in the community right now, but we will also get into the global release announcement, the ironed out info we have for set 3, including the confirmation of shipping characters, tons of new promos and premium card reveals, some tournament news that players especially in Europe will be interested in, and then of course our mailbag where we have an interesting question for the episode. Before we get into the meat of the episode, I just want to thank you all for taking the time to listen to this podcast. It means the world to us, and if you like what we're doing here, please make sure to hit that subscribe or follow button, and if you're listening on Spotify, a 5-star review would go a long way. Now, let's talk about budget decks, addressing first why we are looking at them. Playing within a budget has been pretty important for a lot of players right now, as the second edition of Set 1 is not out yet, so access to secret rares is limited, causing them to actually be pretty expensive. And to be clear, this is how we are defining a budget deck. If it doesn't play secret rares, it's budget. So let's take a look at some straight up budget decks that still have teeth, but then also get into a few decks that either play only one set of secret rares or are able to be played on a budget and then upgraded later with secret rares. The first deck that comes to mind here for me is the Sound 4, and I'll preface this analysis with the fact that I have a gameplay video out for the Sound 4 deck, so if it interests you, you can check that out on my personal channel, John Games TCG. What makes the Sound 4 deck such a budget-friendly option is that you don't even want secret rares anyways. Sure, there are ways to build the deck to get some in there, but the core of the deck functions totally devoid of secrets, and honestly, it's barely any rares too. The Sound 4 synergy revolves around having other Sound 4 characters in your missions, so as the game goes on, your power snowballs. For example, the 2-cost to Yuya gives you an extra chakra for each mission you control a Sound 4 character in, Jirobo powers up for each, Sakon draws for each, and Kirumaru moves a friendly character for each. Beyond that, there are 3 more key cards I wanted to shout out, one being the 4-cost Sakon. He has an ambush effect that lets you copy an instant effect of another Sound 4 character. He is such a great utility piece, being able to copy not only the core effects I just mentioned, but also the effects of any bigger pieces, like the rare Slamming Palm Jirobo. And this is a card we have all lost to. He's one of the best bombs in the game. For 5 costs when he comes into play, he gets a power-up for each character in the mission. So playing 2 of these and 2 of the 4-cost Sakons, you can potentially have 4 Jirobos come down, which is just pure insanity. The last card I want to shout out from the Sound 4 shell is the Demon Flute 5-cost to Yuya. She makes all enemy characters cost 1 more to play in the mission she's played in. She can put a real hamper on opponents, especially if they're not developed in chakra. Almost like a Byakugan Hinata, it really helps punish your opponent for trying to compete in the lane you play her in. There is of course filler in the deck with the general good cards. You can play the Byakugan Hinata because between her and Tiyuya you can have some pretty gnarly games where your opponent just generates so much value for you. You can play Yin Healing Wounds Kabuto, All Force Jutsu Kiba, and then of course Shikamaru and Tauntaun. Importantly though, play a Chunin Exam as a mission in this deck. Chunin Exam can protect your base Tiyuyas from getting sand coffined, which always feels bad when it happens and can totally unravel your game plan. Alright, so overall the deck is a lot of fun and the synergies are strong. Like I said, it's not only a budget deck with no secrets, it only plays a few rares, so it's an easy one to put together. Gabriel, what budget deck have you been liking recently?
My budget deck actually is the Sand Village Control. I've been using this for a while for having fun. Of course, deck with no secrets. Basically, you have a deck with unpredictable moves, be able to switch your character from one side to the other side of the board. But let's get in details. Let's get into it. The deck. In this deck, we have characters with very high power, but actually playable with just 2 or 3 chakras. So that means that you will have a lot of strong amounts of power or in each mission. So that means that your enemies will be very, very limited on which mission to play and maybe to win it against this deck. But let's get into it. Those characters are Shino Aburame, again, a character that you can play with 1 cost, but actually giving you 4 power. Another tactics that I'm using and is not always putting Yashimaru in the first mission with Gaara, but at least waiting the second mission and on. That's why gonna helping you to see which card your enemy gonna put it as hidden, and it is you're gonna be able actually to farm more power with the Gara Sand Coffin. Another big card that I'm seeing in many decks, and actually is a game changer, especially with these decks, is the Kidomaru Spiral Spider Web. Basically, is a 4/4, but you have to spend at least one more, because what this card does is moving a character from this mission. That means this card himself is included. After that, you will be able even to defeat an enemy with power 1 or less. That means your enemy will have in the next round 1 chakra left, and then his strategy for baiting us will be limited to almost 0. Another game changer is, of course, Kankuro is let me set the key, the gear of this deck, because it's allowed you to have 1 chakra extra. So that means with a 2 copy of this card, you're gonna farm a lot of chakra. Bypassing to his upgraded card, the Kankuro Secret Black Move Iron Maiden. This card is a 5/5, is allowed you to move any character in place, plus defeating another character with power 3 or less in this mission. This deck specifically, as I said before, is going to be like a ping pong deck, because you're able to move every character in the field. We got even the Tamari, that already just the basic version is really a beast. 2/2, but can turn to a 2/4 with 4 of power if you got the edge. So that means that sometimes you have to get most of the time the edge by maybe not putting a card hidden once you see that your enemy has 1 chakra left. So sometimes you have to predict what your enemy gonna do it. Another card that before John mentioned in the sound control deck is, of course, Jirobo. Jirobo is a card that can fit perfectly in any decks. Everybody knows that. What perfectly does is a power up X, where X is the number of the character in the mission, including himself. So I hope, guys, you're gonna have a lot of fun with this deck. Drop me a comment about it, and if you have any tips to actually to improve this deck, let me know.
Another deck that I want to shout out is from the homie Nexus Shinobi. Check him out on YouTube if you haven't, but it's a budget good stuff deck, basically replacing the Sakura and Naruto lines that have the expensive secret rares in them with some other interaction. So the deck has all of the classics you'd expect, but the big change in lieu of the secret rare lines is that you have 2 Ninja Hound Akamaru, 2 All Fours Jutsu Kiba, and 2 Two-Headed Wolf Akamaru. And this is really maxing out on the All Fours Jutsu Kiba hiding effect. This deck is pretty good, and it's a great example of a deck that someone can build and then slowly upgrade as they get new cards. If you build this one, you can slowly build into the Naruto package and the Sakura package, all while having a pretty decent deck. I'll also shout out, like I have before, to look for different ways to get those secret rares cheap. For example, there is a Spanish manga promo Rasengan Naruto, which is how I got my first 2 Rasengans, and you can get them for pretty cheap. I ordered mine off of Amazon Spain. And in a similar vein, let's talk about a couple decks that only play 1 set of a secret rare, so they can also be attainable as first decks for some people. Keeping with the build into the full list theme, the Sannin Bomb is actually a deck that can work with just 2 secret rare Tsunade's. The Sannin Bomb is near and dear to my heart, as it's one of the first brews I crafted. You do lose out on some good value with Sakura and Naruto by making it budget, but you can add in some more controlling elements, and again, just slowly build into the full list as you get the new cards. Gabriel, is there another deck you wanted to cover in this regard?
Of course, a different version of the previous deck that we saw. I choose the bonus points, a deck where we have such a crazy way to farm points, even with the first 2-3 missions. We don't have. Is not a must to actually place any character in the 4 mission. Why I'm saying that? Because inside this deck we have a Raza, the 4 Kazekage. What actually this card does is when you score, so when you're winning any mission, and you have like another friendly Sand Village in this mission, you gain 1 extra points. So this means is no more needed to always push for the next mission. You can stay in yours and still farming. So this is allowed, first of all, to confuse your enemy. And as a lethal card, you have inside the Sasuke Uchiha Kidori. So once you collect as many character in those missions, you're gonna use this tactic to spread all your character all around. So your enemy will not gonna be alarmed or not be aware where actually can feed his character to actually beat you in different missions. Another actually card that surprised me a lot and I'm not seeing very, 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 very frequently in any decks, could be Sands or no, is actually Baki, the Council Agent, in both versions. So the basic one, the 3-2, that once you score, so once you win, of course, the mission, you will draw a card. So this is like a boost for you. Having cards, of course, is a game changer. Help you a lot to have a different strategic during the gameplay. The updated version of Baki is actually the Wins word. What that does, actually, first of all, is defeat an hidden character in play. So even if Baki is in the first mission or second mission, you can defeat any character, hidden character in play. And second of all, because you update it, you're gonna defeat an enemy character with power or less in this mission. So by winning those missions, think about even the crazy combination between having Baki and Raza in the same mission. You're getting points, plus you're destroying every time two enemy characters. This thing is such a crazy and funny. I've been choosing the Orochimaru reanimation. This card is a 6/8. The main, you can play this character as upgraded version to any character, but not summon or Orochimaru by himself. What it does, you're gonna gain 2 extra points if the character you upgraded had a power of 6 or more. So my tips is for you, by choosing to play the mission tuning exam, you can actually be playing the Zabuza Momoki, the 3/5 vanilla version. By doing that, you will upgrade himself only with 3 with Orochimaru, and this beast is gonna turn to a 9 power, plus you're gonna gain a 2 extra points. But this is not the end, because by having 2 copy of Orochimaru, you can place actually over even Sasuke. Or if you're able to upgrade it, Yogara, after you destroy 2 item cards, you can upgrade it to him too. Or the last and not the least, we have even actually our Tamari, the Wind Shite Jutsu. This card, after moving any friendly character in play, his main effect, but by upgrading, you're gonna move any card in play. So it's your choice to move 2 character that you own or 1 character from the enemy side. But remember, by using this card in the tuning exam, you can still upgrade it with Orochimaru and gain another extra 2 mission. If maybe this mission will be discarded by drawing that, well, don't worry about it. You have Protect the Leader. This always give you an extra boost, so an extra power for all those characters with 4 power or more in this mission. So let me say it, you're gonna have a lot of fun with those 2 decks.
All right, let's move into the massive amounts of news we have to cover. So by far the biggest news we have is that the global launch of Naruto Mythos is coming. On Wednesday this week, the official Naruto Mythos social media pages posted a video that gave us a ton of juicy info, including we will see a global release for the game between set 2 and 3. As their post says, set 1 and 2 will be available only in a limited quantity to the rest of the world, and then starting with set 3 we will have total release going forward. They mentioned in the post the US, Canada, Latin America, Australia, and the quote, many other countries. It's not clear what they mean since they didn't list any Asian countries. I'm a little bit skeptical because I would imagine they would have wanted to shout out Japan if that was confirmed. Maybe I'm reading into it too much, but either way, this is insanely good news for the health of the game, and as someone in the US, I am super excited to play this at my LGS. Vax, they mentioned Australia. Are you excited to play this in person?
Bro, I've been waiting for this day since September last year. I'm so hyped. Moving on, though, to the reveal of the Itachi Uchiha Tsukiyomi Secret variant serialized card. That's cool. It's one of the most chase characters there is. The red looks awesome on the card. A little disappointed that they didn't do red in the Sharingan eyes. That would have made it perfection. So slightly disappointed in that. In a similar vein, disappointed they didn't do the Sakura Haruno secret rare variant with like the Sakura blossoms being pink. That would have been the coolest being secret by far, but alas. They also announced or revealed, I should say, the new team set promo for Naruto, and it's, I believe, got the same effect as what we were like previously shown, but the difference is the fact that it now costs 4 chakra and has 4 power instead of being a 5/5. This is actually huge for Naruto's line, because the 5/5s were already like crowded, and now we actually have a 4 cost in the line to make it easier to go up the chain to get to the Rasengan more cheaply. And the effect is pretty good as well, actually. You can obtain them through team set promo packs being released with second edition of set 1.
One thing that stands out to me about this Naruto 2 is that it can be a bit of a counterplay to something like a Nirvana Temple Kabuto. If your opponent just plays it and hides all your characters, and you do something like play this Naruto and pass and take the edge, you could probably beat them out on power, which is pretty cool.
Mixing that one, of course, with the Nirvana, but plus, if you're gonna play even the Gara Sand Burial Secret, bro, this is a great combination. Because, you know, the main effect, defeat the enemy character with a cost less than number of friendly item character in play. Plus, if you upgrade it, in addition, add one another enemy character with the same name and cost less than defeated character. What a combo.
That's a good shout out too. There's also some cool tournament news happening. So New World Loot is running weekly locals online with an attached quarterly invitational for the top players. They actually messaged me about this, and it was such a cool idea to get off the ground. I'm super excited for it. I'm actually going to be doing live commentary over the tournament series, so be on the lookout for that. New World Loot's also running the events at the United Kingdom Game Expo this weekend, where players can get the English version of the Rasengan Naruto promo. It is so dope, and I'm so excited to see these unfold. If you want more info, check out newworldloot.com.
Or by using the topdeck.gg, you can find all the tournament for the Naruto Mythos world. By saying that, we have a lot of big news about tournament. First of all, write it down. June 14 in Italy, in Ravenna, will be available a tournament where the first one we win the Naruto Ramen plus epic prize pool will be drafted and given to the winners an exclusive beta pre-production card, bring it back for the entire top 4. And the first place version will be the fall one. Well, that will be an amazing tournament, and for sure I will be there.
I am so jealous that you're going to be able to go to this. Getting the pre-production card sounds so cool. It also mentions that there's a raffle for a box, so even if you don't, win the tournament and win a bunch of cards, you can actually still win a box, which is cool. And one of the game devs, Marcelo, will be there, which is really exciting.
Let me say it, as a collector first, and then a really, really hardcore player of this game, because luckily, here in Europe, I'm able to play at least 4 to 5 tournaments each week. So that means allows me to improve my skills and to collect as many promo cards as I want, like my little trophy display on my shelters. I'm gonna kiss them all of them before going to sleep. But let me pass to another big announcement. Finally, we got the Stir Championship announcement promos. So what does it mean? Finally, they announced the first Naruto Mythos TCG Store Championships are arriving in the selected store across Europe from June 27 to July 12. You can compete for an exclusive reward, including a participation card, a winning card, and a special playmat for each store champions. Limit events, exclusive prize, and a new competitive milestone begin now. Just few store will be selected. My thoughts are they gonna choose the one that had more subscriber in the past those 3 months, and they're gonna select those local. So that means that finally you can go one day there and you have to beat at least 10 to 15 opponent, because from my recent experience, the maximum amount of player that we are reaching is around between 6 to 8. Sometimes, actually, unfortunately, we're playing just 4. And let me say it. We want more players. So guys, get ready. Stop only collecting Naruto Mythos. Go and play. This game is so much fun and really easy to play.
And those promos look really cool. They have the
Wow,
store
amazing
championship.
design.
Yeah, they have the store championship stamp on them that looks so good. Big on these.
The only things that I might suggest to all the designer in the world of Sikaboom and whatever, please next time put a stamp where is written winner on the top of the card.
Yeah.
And so this at least you can distinguish which one is the real winner or not.
Yeah, it's interesting. Magic the Gathering will sometimes print the store names that they send the championships to, which is pretty cool. I would love that if it said big winner on the top. Oh yeah.
Right. But let me say, the store championship card are finally being revealed. Get ready for new challenges, tournament, and exclusive reward dedicated to the Naruto Mythos TCG community. The era of large-scale tournament had finally begun. But it's not finished yet. We have another crazy and amazing tournament that's gonna start exactly next week in Birmingham. Sikabun has announced a stand in Birmingham, and we're gonna have two crazy tournament during the 29th of May and the 30th of May. It's going to be 24 players battling one of each other, where the first one will get the 35% of the remaining packs, one Naruto Ramen promo. Also, you'll be able to compete and play against one of the developers of the game. And if you're going to beat them, you're going to receive an exclusive pre-beta card. What a crazy prize. And plus, will be the first worldwide tournament for the Naruto Mythos era. I will be there, and I will be there for you guys by vlogging. Stay tuned. And I can't wait to see the community, the worldwide community, Naruto Mythos there in Birmingham. So, see you there.
Yeah, that's an extension of the New World Loot series that I mentioned earlier. They're going to be running those tournaments at that convention. That sounds so cool. And we actually have a comment from Simono97, who has been a long-time Naruto Mythos player. I've seen him in the Discord and in my comments for a long time, so what's up, bro? He asks, what's your take on cards like the Kimimaru line that work with cost instead of power? Do you guys think we'll have more like them in future sets? Loving the podcast. All right, so I want to thank you for the question, Vax. I think you'd be the perfect person to answer this.
Yes, sure thing. Kimimaru is quite unique in the fact that his removal is based on their cost, not their power, which isn't super common in the first set. It is really good, and I think people are sleeping on the Kimimaru line at the moment. I think it does work really well, and I definitely assume that in future sets we'll have more cost-based removal. We already have in set one like Gara Sand Burial, the secret rare. No one's really playing it at the moment. But the moment the game has ways to cheat out a lot of hidden cards, cards like the Gara Sand Burial will be incredibly powerful. And even Kimimaru, as we get more like power token support as well, like, you know, in set one we have Team Guy with Rock Lee and Mike Guy not losing power tokens at the end of the round. And the moment we get more power token support, cards like 5-cost Jirobo and other things, and then they just power up your board, even Tsunade Bomb, and cards just sort of like get out of that power range. You know, Chunin Exam already does this, getting cards out of Sand Coffin range, or even 3 power or less removal range, like 5-cost Conqueror. So your 3-cost Tsunade would be protected, being at 4 power. But with cards like Kimimaru, you could still hit cards that have certain cost or less. So I think cost-based removal is very good, and we'll be sure to see more of it.
And I think that's a good ending point for us today. Thank you all so much for taking time to listen to the Take the Edge podcast. Don't forget to give us your best questions in the comment section wherever you are listening to this, and in the next episode we will answer them. Please consider hitting that like and follow or subscribe button. It would mean the world to us, and we'll see you guys next time.
Thank you very much.
God bless you, everyone. Peace out.